our impression that the API Microsoft Graph is evolving and replacing maybe PowerShell a bit more and more. That's a good thing for us, because we will have it much more easy to develop our products.
What's new? It's Teamify, Hubify, Groupify, Spotify and all the other Fis. That's basically what everybody's talking about. Thanks Jeff for that.
What could be a game changer in the future could be everything around data connect. So having the capability of accessing the data which Microsoft has available inside of their data warehouse, which they provide over certain APIs, this could be something where a lot of companies and organizations, as well ISVs, can make a potential use for future products and future purpose.
Well, what's continuously hot in SharePoint and Office 365 world is, well, a lot of people talk about Flow and Power Apps, and Microsoft is pushing it quite a lot. Microsoft is pushing also Teams quite a lot. So that's not surprising. We've seen that at Ignite as well, and yeah, well, we have now some things that were promised at Ignite that are actually already delivered, that speakers could actually show. So that is definitely an interesting thing, and also the conversations we are having with our visitors at our booth is about like how, for example, to move from InfoPath to Power Apps, how to get rid of their old workflows and implement them in Flow, and how we can help them with that. The highlight over the whole conference, well, so I was in the keynote on the second day, which was an IT security or app security keynote, and it was unlike a usual keynote. I would say it was more a level 400 session, very technical. I was a little bit surprised to have such a technical session as a keynote, but personally I enjoyed it. Not sure if the majority of other attendants enjoyed it as much as I did.
So Microsoft Teams is one of the highlights here at the conference. So there were plenty of sessions in that area talking about different kind of API possibilities and capabilities, having different kind of connectivities and integrations into Microsoft Teams. So I would say Microsoft Teams is basically, or was basically, one of the highlights here. There was also another highlight in the area of Microsoft Stream, which is the video portal of Microsoft. So there is a huge development going on in that area, and I would see that more and more will come into that product in the very near future. So basically those two applications within the Office 365 landscapes are, in my opinion, the two highlights from this conference.
My highlight of the whole conference was Jeff's keynote of Jeff Tiefer. That was a really good keynote, and a lot of new stuff came, and he talked a lot about what's coming on with SharePoint and everything. Jeff's keynote, in any case, yeah.
On the one hand side, we see strong standard functionality for the end user or for the citizen developer, and on the other hand we see a lot of advanced stuff in the back, APIs, and really advanced stuff for developing products, and that's good for us, which will be good for the customer too, because our products will evolve. ESPC is the biggest conference in Europe, and as a big share of our customer market is the DACH area, so the German speaking, and the outer European community. That's our market to be, so we have to be here, and it really paid out, if you ask me.
This is one of the two largest conferences in Europe which is focused on Microsoft 365, Office 365, SharePoint, Azure, and basically everybody with name and rank is going to be here, and we know that we are going to meet good people, a lot of people, that we are going to talk to a lot of people, and this is working for us. We as Skybow are really happy. As I said, there are two large events in Europe, this one and European Collaboration Summit. For any sponsors, that should be actually two addresses which they should go.
Yeah, so we have been sponsoring ESPC already for the last couple of years, and well, for us it's the major event that we go in Europe right after Ignite to show what we have to offer, meet our customers. So we have to be there. There's no other choice. There is also, apart from the European Collaboration Summit that I organize myself, there's no other conference in that at that scale where you have the chance to meet that many speakers and sponsors and attendees from all over Europe.
For panagenda, it's pretty important to be part of this community. So having direct access to Microsoft people, access to participants, giving a lot of feedback to our solutions and services. So it's pretty important to be part of this community.
They were not particularly happy with Power Apps, and they wanted to see how it's done properly. We had a lot of demos with Skybow Solution Studio, especially since we here in Copenhagen presented our modern stack, modern Skybow Solution Studios, Skyforms, and everything on top of SharePoint Modern. Together with our colleagues from Rencore, we presented here the InfoPath Migrator, and those were the stuff that people were the most interested in.
Oh, well, in general, in our solutions, we just did a little bit of a rebranding or repositioning regards to solutions, and we're talking with them about primarily application security and governance, helping them to get control over their customizations in SharePoint Online and on premises. And yeah, that's always an interesting discussion because the problems are there everywhere, and many don't realize that there's actually somebody who can help them with that.
No, a lot of content here was as expected, redelivered from Ignite, but this is what we knew, this is what we expected. This was basically messages that were strongly presented at Ignite were delivered now to European audience. And this is what we expected, and this is what we knew that would happen, and it was exactly how it was right.
Maybe I underestimated Teams a bit. I had sessions around everything around Teams today, which was pretty crowded. The most crowded session I saw here, it was maybe 400 people in the room, sitting on the stairways everywhere. So there is a lot of buzz around Teams, and I think that's a demand from customers.
I was really surprised about the whole area of Azure Stack monitoring. So in the Azure Stack you have a lot of capabilities when it comes to monitoring. And even to drill down into application performance data was a total surprise for me. So I was not completely aware of that Microsoft provides already this kind of capabilities out of the box within Azure.
I couldn't say anything bad. Everything was good. Friendly people, you could always ask, you could always get answers. There's brilliant food, a brilliant venue, open spaces, good vibrations. It's a very good, well-organized conference.
Well, the conference is organized splendid as usual. So as we know it, the ESPC team has been doing that for a while. I've been at ESPC since 2013, I believe, every year. So nothing new to be expected. They just know their stuff.
The organization is really great here at ESPC, so you got even a mobile app which you could use to connect with all the people and speakers and even with Microsoft people. So this gives you some sort of possibility to interact with each other quite nicely. So from an organizational point of view, it was really great.
Brilliant. I'm working with this conference. Or speaking at this conference since 2012. This is 6 years now, and Tracy and her team again did a marvelous job. Thank you for everything.
Well, I take 2 prizes with me, so we were quite lucky and won 2 awards this year. So we are taking these back to the office and putting them on a shelf. And we grabbed a little bit of like little swag items. So one vendor had Lego sets, so I think my kids will be very pleased that I brought something for them as well.
For my kids, something from Denmark.
It has been busy days, and I have to buy them at the airport, departing tonight. But I have to.